Hi, I'm Lafourche Parish President Archie, Chaisson, here to talk to you today about hurricane and emergency preparedness, not only in our region, but across the state. The best thing you can do is visit www.getagameplan.org and make sure that you have all the pertinent information, not only for your region, your parish, but also here in the state of Louisiana. Our first priority in Lafourche Parish is always making sure that our residents are prepared for a hurricane. So the first thing we always like to say is make sure that you get a game plan. Make sure that you're thinking about what you need to do before the storm, whether it's picking up your garbage cans, picking up your children's athletic equipment. We don't want those things ending up in our drainage systems and causing some type of flooding issue during or right after a potential severe weather event. Whether it's a tropical storm, whether it's a hurricane, whether it's a tornado, or whether it's just one of the average rainfalls we get in the summer, we take all of those things into account while we're doing emergency preparedness. So think about those things. Make sure that you have all your necessary paperwork when it comes to insurance documents. Make sure that you have your medicine refilled and you're ready to go to a shelter should we need to evacuate you to one of our local shelters or to one of the mega shelters in Alexandria and Monroe. Make sure you have enough water, enough food, enough medicine for at least 3 to 5 days, and that you take care of your pets as well. We have a pet shelter set up at the Race and Ag facility that we can house your pet through the event and then make sure it's taken care of and get back to you after the event. During the event, we always want you to remember that the power probably will go out. So when you think about your generator starting up, make sure that you have your carbon monoxide detectors, batteries charged, that you've checked that before the event. One of the things we see a lot in the aftermath of a hurricane is as generators are running, we're seeing carbon monoxide alarms go off. Even though we tell you to follow code when those generators are installed and put them outside of your boxing, that way those fumes don't get pulled up into your home, we still see those issues over a long time. Make sure that you have a generator professional on standby so those generators can be serviced and that they're not backfeeding into the electrical system or causing a fire if you're running them too long with too much of a load. During the event also, we want you to maintain safety in your home. Make sure that you're not traveling out in the event of a storm, even though the winds died down. You may just be in an eye wall or just directly after the aftermath of a storm. We're gonna have down electrical lines, we're gonna have down trees. Those things can cause serious injuries as people travel on the road. If you did evacuate and you're worried about how to get home, or if you're in one of our shelters and you're trying to figure out how to get back home, please keep in tune with all the local media outlets, our local television, our local radio, and even our website. During an event, we click over to an emergency preparedness page where that when you log into www.lafourchegov.org, the only thing you will see is that emergency information page with information about the storm's path, whether it's coming, whether it's not coming, or in the immediate aftermath, what services are available or aren't available, so you know what you're coming back home to. We want you to be prepared to have gas or fuel for your generators if you're coming back after an event for an extended power outage, like we saw with Hurricane Ida, with up to 5 weeks of no power, and in some cases a couple of weeks with no water, depending on where you were in the parish. So we want you to keep all of those things in mind when you're thinking about coming back. Also on our website, you can log into our re-entry system. If you're a critical first responder or you work in a critical business that needs you back, such as businesses in Port Fourchon, a hospital or a nursing home, if you were able to leave and you need to come back, to have those placards so you can get back through the checkpoints and back into Lafourche Parish. And then as we look toward the long-term solutions after a hurricane, whether we're talking about debris or whether we're talking about power restoration or things like that, please think about that. If you have a large tree in your yard, where are you gonna stack all that debris? Are the contractors available to clean that up for you, or are you relying on somebody else to do that? We saw a lot of issues with debris after the storm, making sure that people are putting it on the right of way, not in drainage ditches to continue to clog up, because we know we're gonna have rainstorms in the summertime after a tropical weather event or a hurricane or a tornado. So we wanna make sure that stuff's in the right place so our trucks can easily grab them and get them out of here. If you are completely gutting your home, try not to stick stuff in large black bags. Although we have a plan forward for that this hurricane season and beyond. We saw a lot of issues with people stuffing stuff in the black bags and us as the government not knowing what was in them and how we could pick them up. So we worked on solutions for that as well to help expedite that process to get debris out of the parish faster. Long-term recovery, if you need housing, we will always have FEMA set up in our government complex locations so we can get your housing needs taken care of as quickly as possible should a housing mission be brought into Lafourche Parish again if the storm is bad enough. But think about that. If you're currently in a FEMA trailer or a state licensed RV unit, think about where you're going to go during that event and which you may come home to should that unit be tipped over or something catastrophic happen due to high winds or high water or anything like that. Overall, we're well prepared to keep you safe both before, during, and after a hurricane event. And as always, you can visit our website at www.lafourchegov.org for all the pertinent information before, during, and after the storm.